time. So he's a little bit too far away for that crouching forward. But he did counter hit. Tokido's patience here. You see how he's just standing there. He's doing the analysis right now and how RB behaves in the moment. So just sitting here is a very good tactic. His strategy right now is very Bruce Lee. His strategy is no strategy in terms of applying anything. He's just doing nothing and watching RB and what he does. So he can develop a game plan. So he walks in a little bit to that range. RB is now feeling confident that he's established a little bit of mid-range dominance enough to dash up. And again, Tokido is just watching. He's just looking to see how he responds to him doing nothing. And I guarantee Tokido has been taking notes of the exact same things that I have been mentioning, where he sees that mid-range dominance, he dashes in, Tokido is already ready with the crushing jab to punish his dash forward. So now what is required by RB is more patience. So that crouching jab, due to his lack of hit confirm, tells me that he wasn't sure of the situation, but he didn't have to commit to anything, even though it would have punished. He's just punishing RB's momentum. So that was a bit of a throw bait attempt. Oh, okay. So this here punishes RB's hesitation because we now notice that he has a habit of hitting standing strong. And this is very likely to counter him in the situation. And I'm not sure if standing strong is exactly what he was counter hitting, what he was attempting to counter hit. It is absolutely crazy how often Ryu's standing roundhouse will crush counter, even though it's something you would think is a bad move because it whiffs on crouching opponents. It can whiff punish him for doing it. But if you have a read on your opponent on their willingness to use mid-range normals, that crush counter is so much more damaging than if he got hit by a standing strong. If Ryu were to get hit by a standing strong at this range, as you saw earlier, he wouldn't have gotten too much. Actually, let me turn off this shear thing here. Ryu wouldn't have gotten too much, Urien would have gotten too much. But Ryu gets a crush counter. So it's very interesting. Phil, CW2, and Exceed Gaming. Welcome to the lab. He actually walks up a little bit on the second standing roundhouse. And I think that ensures that his standing leg kick will contact here. And again, another murder jump. So, I don't know 100% exactly, but the murder jump is where you jump up first and then cancel your jump into a forward jump, and it adds one frame, and that makes his next jump a frame kill. Don't quote me on that though. I think that's how it works. But that's the thought behind it. There's the same standing strong you saw against Myers. And again, I do think sometimes it's just simply he's hitting this button. Because it's good. So that looked to me like a knee that was +2. That's very possible this was +2. And Tokido leaves it alone. Because it did look very meaty. If the knees hit you very high, then it can be punishable. As we saw earlier, the range at which leg kick knees can be anywhere from -4 to +2. So it's -4 punishable. But that looked like it hit very low, so it was probably, for sure it was safe. It could have been +2. Explain your theory on this murder jump again, please. Alright. So you can jump cancel. In this game, you can absolutely jump cancel things. I've showed with Jury that you can jump cancel her V trigger. Her and Dalsum are specific to this, but that's not the only thing you can jump cancel in this game. There's many things, and apparently, you can jump cancel your own jump. So you add a frame to your jump. That's what it is. What's a frame kill? That's kind of a difficult one. Let's see if I can do this real quick. With the Oki calculator, you can actually do other frame kills. But a frame kill is basically using a series or just one. You're using something to get the correct timing to get a meaty on their knockdown, or whatever you would like it to be. So you have all these frame kills here. 30 frame kill, 31, and these are for Urien. If I want if somebody's on the ground for 34 frames, and I want to have something that keeps me active for those 34 frames, so I can be even with them, I can use any of these. if I want to be, say they have a 34 frame knockdown, and I want to be +3 as they're getting up, I want to use something that has less. So if I'm at 34 here, I need to be like, I need a 31 frame kill. So these are my only options for a frame kill. And those aren't very good, but just for the example's sake, that's what the frame kill sets up meaty setups. That's the easy way to explain that. So Tokido blocked the violence knee drop, which seemed to be plus. He wasn't really sure, and it's better. This is exactly why Armika hangs people so much, because they get hit by crouching fierce. They're not sure if it's plus or not. They want to punish it, but if she's meaty, if she hits it in later in its active frame, she has advantage. So if she hits her standing jab, she will punish you for trying to punish something that's typically punishable. So in the same situation, Urien might have had advantage, but Tokido, it's not Armika, so you don't have a command grab or anything like that to worry about. So he just patiently waits and see what RB's next move is, playing very reactionary, very patient. And again, this is all he's doing. What are you doing? I'm here chilling. I'm crouching. That's all there is to it. And you know what? The reason why Tokido is crouching so much is because he has seen how many headbutts RB has done, and he's looking to punish that. I'm convinced. I'm so sure of that. So again, RB notices Tokido's patience. He dashes forward, and he tries to make a play. 2 crouching shorts. Now he's trying to bait the throw. He's walking in and out, and he actually throws him for. He actually punishes him. He punishes him slightly for Tokido's patience. That sentence sucked. He punishes him for it, but this is still fine. Like Tokido is not taking he's not taking enough damage to where he has to behave differently. It's a very low risk, low reward scenario, but it gives him time to understand his opponent. And just as I say that, DP. There's that standing roundhouse. He tried to whiff punish the standing roundhouse, but good old 8 frames. Sucks. Or excuse me, 6.5. 4 frames or bust, boys. Punishes him for trying to punish him. Street Fighter 5. Fireball mid-range, that's good. RB could have headbutted that. But you have to be very... your presence of mind has to be very through the roof against Tokido. I feel like if you try to play against Tokido 100% reactionary, it's going to be extremely difficult. The Ratio Wizard, is that what I just read? The Ratio Wizard? That's a mathematical name. Welcome to the lab. Ooh. Okay, neutral jump. This is very important to do against Ryu. So a lot of people will try to challenge Ryu's fireballs with a fireball of their own, or they'll try to jump forward to punish him for fireball. And as I mentioned earlier, you can't do that on reaction. It's totally a guess. But if you neutral jump just as RB has done, you have to wait for this fireball to go off the screen before Ryu can throw another one. So now he is able to walk forward with this slight advantage of not having a fireball, because he can't walk forward anymore. So now he has freedom from this space here. And he just waits it out. Now here, that was somewhat safe to do, because it allows him to cover ground. Same idea. He can't throw another fireball. And now he's closer to him. Standing forward. So everything Tokido is doing is so safe. Stand forward, activate. And again, since he's so far in the round, this activation puts him at a good advantage, because if it hit him, then he won. That was his match, if that standing forward contacted. But instead he activates and jumps. He jumps at the range where it's difficult for Urien to anti-air. And RB actually crouching strongs here, so now it's even more difficult for him to anti-air. I don't think he recovers in time for him to hit standing roundhouse with Urien. So actually, this is really good. This is actually the best option for him to do here. So since he can't anti-air him, he just avoids the situation. He avoids completely. Evades. So, actually right there, that was actually very dangerous for Tokido to do, because Urien has V-Trigger available. And judging by what Tokido has available, he was probably looking for a low forward fireball, hit confirm into fireball, take the round. But at this range, Here's a jump. RB avoids it. At this range, he could have been whiff punished here by Urien standing forward, and he would have activated Aegis. So it's very tough. A very tough call by Tokido, but it takes confidence like that to really just press it, to press what you have. And the Aegis combo wouldn't have killed here. The resets might have, but Ryu's low forward fireball as a fireball definitely would have killed. So that situation is totally in Tokido's favor. Now this is something I mentioned to Justin. When RB feels like he's forced to generate pressure, he EX tackles into Aegis. And it's good. It's good to do this. He tries to beta throw here. And Tokido jumps forward, which is actually somewhat better than jumping back. Yeah, because from here he can't throw fireballs if he's behind it. But from here he can kind of throw fireballs. Yeah, and the reflector's totally gone. He eliminates the reflector out of the equation because RB is looking to throw him. Okay. Stand strong to get some advantage. Crouching forward. This is bad. This right here is totally punishable. Tokido could have supered here. This is exactly my advice to Justin. When you saw Justin super in the same situation, but that low forward into the reflector is not safe to do. So here he can kind of make a play. Stand strong. He has advantage. Torch strong. Nothing. He's too far for the throw. This is really good play by Tokido. Tokido walks backwards. Tokido is already... Oh, okay. He walks backwards after the torch strong. So the throw whiffs. And now he can punish this. So what RB could have done here was crouching short. He could have done crouching short into jab headbutt. But it's risky for him to do this. It's risky because he is so low on health. A counter hit from Ryu would have sealed the match. So this was his I'm trying to be safe option. And Tokido had a read on that. Tokido knew better. And in fact, that throw wouldn't have even killed him. So yes, he actually doesn't punish the throw. He just he hits his crouching strong late, but the crouching strong would have given him advantage on blocks. So this is a way that Tokido is maintaining that pressure. But RB, since he got counter hit, tried to maintain his pressure when he lost it when his throw whipped. So he kept trying, and Tokido punishes for it. He kills him for it. Bada bing, bada boom. Call me a snitch. Okay, so round 2. RB has 2 meters. That means he can, I think, 1 EX tackle to do almost randomly is totally fine. Because it's safe on block. And it can generate a knockdown. Back roundhouse. Tokido sees the back roundhouse. He blocks it. He knows he has advantage, frame advantage, and he uses his safe poke against RB. And he follows that up with a fireball. This is very, very safe play by Tokido. Again, the same situation. This time he lets it go. And this time he punishes RB for trying to change. And I think his standing forward still would have worked here, but he just walked away and he just observed. I'm going to... This is crazy to me. He takes his advantage and he uses safe pressure. And then in the next situation, he does nothing. Because he suspects that his opponent might do something. He might change himself. So he just observes. And he sees the opening and he punishes him for it. It's awesome. That's sick. Oh, wow. And then he goes on the offensive. It's so well thought out. Tokido is just naturally awesome. He waits a little bit. That wasn't even needy. This is actually punishing a jump OS if you were to do it. It's really cool. Crouching strong. Safe stuff. RB, to punish Tokido at this point, has to play nutty. He has to jump at him and do that sort of thing. Because Tokido is forcing him to he's forcing the situation where he's always safe, and RB has to do something that's not so safe until he has more resources. So the best way, in my opinion, for RB to address the situation is to be patient himself. He needs to apply what Tokido is doing to him. He needs to give him a taste of his own medicine and do less. Do a lot less. So he walks back up to this range. We're standing forward in that back roundhouse, which he was pressuring with earlier. He walks back up to that range. And Tokido beats him to the punch. He fireballs. Tokido is confident that he will not jump at him. He's very confident that he will not jump at him. And now you see the reversal rolls. RB has been dominating the mid-range and then dashing up. Now Tokido is dominating the mid-range with his fireballs and dashing up himself and trying to generate counter hits. Again, more safe play with the standing forward. More safe play. That was not safe. That crushing roundhouse was suspect. He could have actually punished more. He could have got a crushing roundhouse himself, and he could have tackled. The tackle would have been the best option because that would get EX tackle would have positioned him back in the middle of the screen. So that's really good. But standing forward is like his, oh shit, I missed it. This is faster. Let me hit a button. He was probably thinking about standing forward anyways. He was probably saying to himself, I can't let him take the mid-range away from me. Standing forward has to be the next button that I press. And then he noticed late that the crushing roundhouse, he blocked it. And then he hit standing forward. That's my prediction there. So there is that jump. There is that jump that he needed to do earlier. I think Tokido wasn't... Oh, Tokido wasn't ready for it. So maybe he tried to stand jab here. So Tokido a little bit overconfident that his opponent won't jump at him. So he sees the jump late. Wow, so there's a jump back OS. RB could have punished with a headbutt here, but he wasn't ready for it. He dashes up to try to anti-air the back end of his jump back with Torch Strong and no dice. So with that, so it's like RB responded to a situation. He didn't get the result he was looking for. Tokido is already ready to punish that idea that he had. That Torch Strong that wasn't anti-air. He was already in his face by the time he realized that he didn't get an anti-air. So he wasn't ready to break this throw. So, wake up dangerous knees. Okay, we'll just pretend that's not there. Okay, so he does dangerous knees and then standing fierce. Perhaps he was trying to punish Tokido for trying to punish the dangerous knees. So that's a bit gimmicky. But again, the way that Tokido is playing this, he's not trying to overextend himself in the least bit. So very, 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 very solid play from Tokido. Even the standing fierce, he just doesn't bother with it. He wants to see how RB behaves. So RB does a crouching forward. No big deal at all. He doesn't even have meter. V-trigger meter. There it is. He still doesn't have it. No big deal. Now RB has the reflections. It looked like he was trying to punish jump back OS with that standing roundhouse. More mid-range dominance. He's standing outside of standing forward range for Urien. He's throwing the fireballs there. So at this point, what RB has to do to make a big comeback is jump in and then reflector. Very, very risky stuff to do. So Tokido, ooh, if that would have actually hit, he should have reflected off of the first, off of the standing strong to guarantee himself pressure. But he got a little bit greedy, maybe a little bit desperate. Wasn't sure of the situation. But Tokido is playing this extremely well, and now he's pressuring him no more because his life is so low, and he has activation. So there is exactly what I was mentioning earlier. When his back is literally against the wall, when he has meter, when he feels like I need to make a play, EX tackle H's. This is not a bad tactic at all. This is actually pretty good to do. But he got tired of waiting, and he forced the play, and it actually hits. So there's the overhead. This shouldn't work that way, but it's all good. So this is very interesting how this whiffs. So notice, it's not hard at all to do this. This is not very difficult. But the reason why this whiffs is not because he timed it wrong. It's because I'm willing to bet. I didn't even look, but I just know off of my own experiences. If you hit the crouching fierce far away from them, it changes the way your dangerous knees, or excuse me, your violence knee drop, it changes the way that contact happens. And that makes it so that the Torch Strong doesn't contact. So I have to hit it somewhat forward. That one, it would have whiffed. Just like that. So the reason why his Crouching Fierce hit him at a later state is determined by the way he hits him here. Because then, how they bounce off the reflector and how I time my Crouching Fierce will change the way that they are in the air as a result. It's just the same as when I do Crouching Fierce and I do a reset, I'm behind them. I'm behind them. But if I do standing roundhouse first and then Crouching Fierce, I'll be in front. So it changes depending on how far away you hit the Crouching Fierce. Who's that? I saw a follower. Ghost Soma. Ghost Soma. Thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to the lab. So that was a little bit of an execution error on his part. And that's one of the issues with Urien at this point, is that there's so many unfamiliar situations that even the player can make mistakes unknowingly. So now Tokido is on high alert. He has all the resources to kill him, and actually the super, I think this is the round that he actually kills him with super. Right? Yep. He does the crushing roundhouse to guarantee the block stun. Urien has nothing. There's nothing he can do at this point. He has no V reversal available. Crouching Fierce, Fireball, super. Easy game. Remember in Third Strike when Urien had unblockables? Turns out Ryu actually has an unblockable. And it kills you. What a great character. Oh. Take a sip of that water. Slow motion sips. I'll do it too. Alright, we got the second match. Tokido is up 1 game. There is that Torch Strong twice that will meet both recoveries. I don't know about that throw whiff. Probably trying to bait something. I don't know. I sound like James Chen. Trying to bait something. So now stun is very high. This headbutt here sets up a meaty. It's a frame kill, if you will. And Tokido is in the corner. Torch Strong again. Tokido bets the round. He actually bets the round on this DP, because if RB would have to, if he were to have blocked this crush counter, corner, it probably would have killed. Ryu unblockable? Yeah, his Denjin is actually crushes your guard. Overhead. So he wasn't even trying to block the overhead. He was more interested in trying to stop his throw attempt with the crouching jab. So RB he's scared out of his mind. He's scared out of his mind because he has meter now. He could stand forward or EX tackle, but he's so intimidated by the mid-range dominance of Tokido that he is now playing that patient game when he probably shouldn't be. But it's so scary. Neutral jumping, forward jumping. Tokido throws more fireballs. More fireballs. So now this is a sign of desperation to me. Because, actually no. Because Tokido is throwing so many fireballs, this is potentially going to punish him for doing that, or give him frame advantage if Tokido blocks. And that's what happens. Tokido blocks. So I take it back. I don't think this was a sign of desperation. Now after this knee, it depends on how it hits. That determines how much frame advantage we have. So it's not always guaranteed, but you always have guaranteed frame advantage. So it's possible that this Torch Strong could have been interrupted by it could have been interrupted by a 3-frame. I think it could have been perfect too. I think, let's see. No, there's always a gap. So the startup on Torch Strong is 7. At best, you're +6 after the violence knee drop. I don't think he was +6 at all. So So it's very likely that Tokido could have jabbed, but again, I go back to the idea that Tokido is playing this as safe as possible and just letting RB have a safe form of offense. He's mitigating the amount of damage that RB could potentially do to him by playing safely. And Majestic Styles, thanks for the follow, man. Thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the lab. Towards strong, he accepts it. So in this situation, this is when this target combo is dangerous. It's when Urien has Aegis available. Because now, instead of taking that 72 damage for the counter hit, 60 damage for just being hit, he gets combos and resets. Is he gonna go for the tackle? Towards strong, tackle, behind the back. That is dangerous. And if he doesn't kill, okay, good. It's good. That is some new technology. I cannot claim this one. That is somewhere else. That is Russia, China, not America. I did not create this. And in fact, I think he could have killed without using that meter. I don't know why I'm critiquing him now. Maybe I'm jealous. But I think at this point, yeah, it's good. This is fine to guarantee the damage. It's good. Because he had the damage here and a reset possibility. So there was a lot of good decisions to make there regardless. Bada bing, bada bing. With throw, Street Fighter V, hard to time things. Punishes the jump with crouching roundhouse. Okay, so now Tokido is playing a different type of mid-range with the low forward. But again, he goes back to this, just be safe. I posted that mix-up on SRK 2 weeks ago. Yo, that was my week 1 take, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a collection of efforts. We have created this beast of RB. And he has his own tech himself, too. I know Gutex was talking to him when he was in SEAM. Southeast Asia Majors. So with the call-out. To call out for the EX headbutt. But even still, Tokido, unfamiliar. He doesn't punish it with standing roundhouse. Actually, I'm not sure if he can. I think -12. EX headbutt is -12. -17. No, for sure he can punish that with standing roundhouse. With the old standing roundhouse. Yeah. Oh, I had no idea that was 10. 10 is really fast. 10 is really fast for a... 7. 7 on the... What? What? Alright, Ryu. But, yeah, he doesn't punish it with the crush counter, but instead he goes with something that's safer and something he can hit confirm. So stand strong, and he actually fucks that up, so... that sucks. Guaranteed pressure, and then Tokido probably took notes from the previous round. And he just DPs. Meaty grab. He whiffs a normal. This is kind of an old school thing. You whiff a normal before they get up. It's pretty fast. It makes them feel like they have to block because it's going to hit them. And then you grab them. There's the overhead block. He has Aegis, so he keeps it advantageous. Tokido has no V reversal. This was a very tight grab. It's very difficult to time this meaty. So now we have a corner. It switches, so this is perfect. Now Tokido's in the corner. Now, I don't agree with this reflector. Maybe. Maybe it's fine. Well, maybe he needs to guarantee this pressure because he's so behind. Okay, that's a great anti-air there. Now, this is actually not too good. Because the reflector actually hits him, it expires. So now he can't do mix-ups off of it. It's much better. And this is why I didn't particularly like the reflector off of that torch, that standing strong. That shows me a little bit of... he's kind of like, I have to have something there against Tokido. But what would have been better is to just have this reflector later, so that this would actually, he would be able to pressure him in the corner. But Tokido just jumps away. When you have this in front of you here, it's very, very difficult for the opponent to deal with. And of course, you have the option to go behind him. And you don't have to do that either. You can do the knees in front. And sometimes the reflector will bounce them up after the knees hit them, and then you can do more things. But I do feel like he felt like he had to keep the pressure. Yep, Street Fighter 5. Nothing to see here, folks. Grab into stun. And this should kill. Absolutely. Charged hard punch would have definitely killed. So, after the Fierce, you have charged hard punch. And you have back roundhouse. With back roundhouse, you can manipulate which side you want to be on. And it'll be meaty. But, standing Fierce, if you hold it, you do a little bit more damage. So this is a bit better. If you feel like your opponent is aware and you don't want to go for the left or right mix-up, you can go for the guaranteed damage instead. And let's turn counter hit off. And this is something that I do whenever I want to assess things. So, we got, I gotta do it again. So we have 278. I'm just going to show you very quickly how I determine whether something is worth it or not. We got 278. That's 278 damage for charging that hard punch. 270. So that's a difference of 8 damage. So what that tells me is that it's absolutely worth it to go for this almost so often, because you're only missing out on 8 damage on what you could have had. And the other options are to use meter for like the EX, and you only gain, what's that, 318 to 278. You get 30 more damage, right? Yeah. Yeah, 30 more, no, it's 40. You gain 40 more damage for 1 bar. That's not very good. But, yeah, he said it misses on Chun-Li. It also misses on Rashid. You have to like time it later. So yeah, this is, you have different options. You can use the standing Fierce if you're not sure of what the character, how they behave in the air. You can always do that, and that keeps you in the corner. So let's say you were going to do this mix-up and stay. You wanted to stay in the corner. You can still do this and just keep the corner, but that doesn't present the same. It's not a mix-up at that point. If you use a standing Fierce, you're just going to know that you're going to be on that side. But the other risk in doing this is if they block. If they block the cross under, now you're in the corner. So that's that. And I think I missed somebody. RSLLXS. Welcome to the lab.
I'm number 1.
And C2XU. Welcome to the lab. So that kills, and it's not even necessary to do what I just demonstrated. And RB looking like a fully Asian Gutex. Is Gutex fully Filipino? I don't know. Yo here lurking and learning. Hey man, it's good. As long as you're learning, having a good time, I'm having a good time. Somebody donated $20 to the stream today, and that almost guarantees, like, okay, I gotta go to next level now. I gotta go. I'm gonna buy the bus ticket. That's really good. Have you tried using standing hard punch after EX Fireball to get a meaty down ages? Like this? Oh, okay. Charging it. Yeah, that's cool. That's there. The up ages, I don't feel like it's as strong as the close ages in the corner. But it's definitely interesting. That's something I have to do more work on. Because I feel like if this is just there and it gives the opponent room to breathe. So I don't know. How much is a bus ticket from your location to next level? It's 70 to 80 bucks. Last time it was 80, but I think if I go from here, it'll be 35. So yeah, that's gonna shave off 70, 20, 50 bucks now. $50. It's all good. But the real reason why I wasn't sure about going to next level again was because my birthday is on Wednesday and the election is on around that time frame. So I don't know if I want to go to a majorly populated city when there's going to be when there might be some political tension, regardless of who wins. So I was like, maybe I'll just wait another week and see what happens. After the side switch, it's probably better to just do crouching low punch times 3. What? Oh. Confirm EX need to get back on the other side with meter if you get blocked. Yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Happy birthday? Man, I'm old, man. Let me rock. Let me cook, man. I'm almost 30. Can y'all believe it? Can y'all believe I'm 30? Almost. I'm 1 year away from being 30. Damn. Murder kill. That beats the jump OS. It's also just a good button. Okay, so this is interesting. So just as I was describing earlier, where RB is using back strong to go into the tackle and spacing it so that only on contact he'll get the tackle. The same idea with the target combo. He does the target combo in a way that I think he's doing it anyways, but you can hit confirm off of this. So Tokido runs into the standing jab. He's buffering the strong. RB is. And then he can confirm the tackle. Good stuff. Post on SRK too? Do I post on SRK? I used to. SRK forums are silly now. I used to go by Jimbo. Formerly known as. Formerly? Or like is it formally or as in like a formal occasion? Back when I was like formerly known as. A bit off topic, but what color are you using? I don't know, man. I haven't figured that out. I might switch to a bluish kind of color to represent my sponsor. That'd be kind of cool. RB playlist link. Here you go. Let's finish up this match while I look at the other colors. It's so insane. Roundhouse when Urien wakes up, and I'm not even sure if he was blocking first. I kind of like this olive color though. It reminds me of military. I should probably use this color. It's kind of blue. It's kind of blue like Miles Davis. What is my esports color? This is my esports color right here. A little bit too yellow. Oh, Jimbo, the game player. Forgot that was you. What does Wave actually do for you? Hey, man. They support me. They cover some costs. A little bit. I can't live off of what they do. Not at all. Not at all. So now, Tokido is throwing firewalls from further than mid-range. Crouching strong counter hits. He hit confirms off of the counter hit. Urien has Aegis available. I don't think he's gonna wake up Aegis because Tokido is throwing him. And I think Tokido is throwing him because he has wake up Aegis. More low forward pressure. Now, exactly what I've been mentioning earlier. And he actually doesn't activate his Aegis off of it, which is very surprising. He probably intended to. Any online matches later? You want me to play online matches? I could. Online's stupid, but... This is my favorite.
Kneel before me when in my presence!
Ryu.
Wake up, crouching short is not a bad idea. So again, Urien doesn't have a 3-frame. He has 4 frames. One of them being crouching short. And if you're going to choose one of them, I honestly would recommend crouching short because it does hit low and it has good range. And if you're close enough, you can confirm into headbutt, or you can short Aegis. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And actually, what does he do here? He has That's exactly what he does. So he gets knocked down. Wow. So he doesn't hit this because Tokido is trying to throw him. Tokido actually doesn't do immediate attack. He waits. Maybe due to EX headbutt, or maybe due to wake up reflector. Either way, this gives him the short Aegis, which I just demonstrated. Oh, but he gets greedy. This is very greedy. This is very greedy. There's a thought behind it, but it's very good. So because you're hitting them twice before you get the reflector out, because you're hitting them twice with a light attack, at that point you're at 38 damage before you start your combo. So this is mitigating a bunch of damage from you. And just to give you an idea, that did 232 damage. I started with 2 crouching shorts. This is probably standing. And now I'm at 300. I don't remember the last number, but it was definitely less than that. So I would have, by doing this reset, he makes the damage, he increases his damage. But he also increases the likelihood of him getting punished for it. Because the Fort Fierce, Urien's overhead, is quite slow. And since it's slow, it creates a bigger window of time that he can be punished by crouching jab or a DP. If there's any window of time, a player with an invincible reversal can go through it. And that's exactly what Tokido does. He recognizes how greedy RB is playing. Now, on the other side of it, if RB would have did short Aegis blocked, then the DP would have whiffed. And actually, I think he could have done short Aegis, EX headbutt. Yeah, that's the real hidden tech there. That's one thing that of mine he has not demonstrated. So this is one of the setups I have. It will beat DPs. It will beat DPs. It will beat 3-frame normals. They have to block. They have to block in view reversal. And that is off of this 4-strong reset. If he DPs there, the DP will go through me because I have more invincibility frames than Ryu does. And when he lands, Yimak. I can crush counter him for it. And if you were in event hubs, you've probably seen this one too. The double crossover. And if you're on, you land on the other side. But that wastes your reflector. But it's there. Back to the match. So Ryu, Tokido DPs. He just jumps away from the reflector and he just waits. He just waits for time to expire. This is very good on RB to use that time to his advantage and get something. He could have thrown a fireball, he could have charged it up, or he can get his V-skill. Now V-skill isn't as valuable here because he has no health to really capitalize, and his V-trigger is still being used for his second reflector, so he's not gaining V-trigger if he absorbs anything because he has V-trigger consuming. Wow, I'm surprised he had the time to do that. So right now he needs the reflector, but this is, you know, fighting games. That's the whole fighting games part of it. Kind of a bummer. But that's a tough situation to be in the first place. And it's all because he got a little bit greedy with that reset. But it could have paid off. Could have definitely paid off. I think Tokido tried to parry there. Again, towards strong, whiffing. And then he's just buffering into EX tackle if it were to contact. Meaty towards strong. Combos into crouching short. Tackle. Now that's exactly what I warned. It doesn't work. It's not a good thing to do this. If you're going against a player who knows that you might try to throw here or that kind of thing. Crouching jab. A 3-frame normal will always win in this situation. And RB is punished for it. He's punished very, very... It seems like it's not much. But to have this momentum, almost to be at a state where you're almost stunning your opponent, to doing something that's somewhat gimmicky, to where you could have killed him. Now Tokido has the corner. He has the corner advantage against RB. That's insane. Wake up headbutt. But to be fair, he may have thought that Tokido would have tried to fireball him late, and then the headbutt would have caught up to him. But this can be punished. And he does a very safe string here. What are my opinions on headbutt loops and their practicality? That was a hard word. The stun combos are really good. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. I'm not sure if it works on Ryu. But off of a stun, it's very good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. In that situation, it's very good. But setting it up naturally in a match is way too difficult. And I'm not sure if it's worth risking dropping it when you could have gotten something else that was guaranteed and still good as well. Tokido is just counter poking. Very, very safe play. He's not being crazy at all. That was crazy. That was actually crazy. But Tokido he's an animal. Oh, you gotta love this chin here. That is so unfortunate. Standing roundhouse DP. And that is match 2, Tokido. Match 3. Now this is the last match RB has to really start winning again. And Tokido does not have to change his strategy in the least bit. Everything has been working perfectly fine. Being patient and even punishing very, not optimally, but in ways that he can observe his opponent at all times. Tokido now is feeling as if RB is getting desperate. So those whiff jabs were him measuring if RB is going to jump at him. He enters into the range of Urien standing forward. Ow, that sucks. Was that a roundhouse? So this is completely. It's well, not completely. It's mostly a read on RB's part. Wow, that was a crushing roundhouse from downtown. Crush counter. Now I think he might be too far for a crushing fierce here. Yeah. This is why I mentioned earlier that I do crouching strong. When your crush counter is standing fierce, it's at a range. So right here, I can get it to hit, and I can probably still get pretty close to it. Yeah. But when it collides with a different button from my opponent, if it hits from here, then it's going to be further away. And in that case, this crushing fierce didn't even hit the first time. He just completely whipped. What do you think happened with the matchup with Karen when he went up against Jaewong? We're gonna go over that next. But spoiler alert, I've mentioned this earlier. I fed a bunch of information to Justin Wong so that would ensure his victory. I think he would have won without it, but we'll go over that next. And then that'll be it. Very good spacing by RB here, but he needs to make somewhat of a play. No block on the overhead from there. Wow. Tokido is mixing in a lot of smoke and mirrors with what he's doing, combined with his solid play. It's just as Ultra David and James Chen described, where you play at a very slow pace and then you turn it on. And this moment is crucial because RB's back is against the wall. He can't lose this match. Now he's close to stun. That is an easy DP. That desperation is really, really showing. And I don't think he has the mitigation. No, never mind. It's Ryu. I was like, oh, he's way too... It seems that he's way too deep into his combo. Combo mitigation is a problem at this point. He probably can't kill... It's Ryu. Of course he doesn't. Of course he does tons of damage. Same thing. Nothing has changed on Tokido's part in the beginning stages of each round. Very slow play. And RB is at a loss. He's like, where do I need to be and what do I do when I get there? This is crazy. And I think the answer is to be very patient. Just be more patient than Tokido. And Tokido is free to do whatever he wants right now. His spacing is so immaculate. It's almost as if RB's tactics now have expired. It's like nothing that he was doing that was working before is able to. He can't apply it now. He's trying it, but nothing is working. He's using the stand strong. He's trying to zone. Tokido is just having none of it. He's in complete control. H Carnage asks, why doesn't RB or many people use standing hard kicks anti-air? I find it very useful in stuffing cross-ups, and you're absolutely correct. It's a good button to anti-air stuff. But there are two reasons that I can tell you that I've gone into detail. But say I do standing forward and footsies, and they jump at me at the same time. I won't recover in time to use standing roundhouse. Now let's say I'm so focused, the other reason, I'm so focused on the mid-range that I don't even see him jump until it's too late. Standing roundhouse is too slow. So you have to constantly be multitasking, and sometimes your focus goes so delegated to one area that you're just not able to see the other one. And it's required. It's required to be that focused on one. Like, if you're focused on anti-airs completely, nobody's ever going to jump at you. Like, never. If this game was about anti-airing jumps and there was no middle ground, it'd be pointless. You'd never be able to see. It'd be dive kick, but okay, let me hold my opinions. What I'm trying to say is that anti-airing is super easy if that's the only thing you're looking for. But if you're busy doing other things, then that's when it becomes a problem. And it's not fast like McCauley's standing jab to where you can recover and then just anti-air them. It takes a lot of thought to do anti-air with Urien. And sometimes, more often than not, it's better to just block because you're not sure. It's better to block than it is to try to trade or beat it and then you lose with your core strong. So that's why you don't always see anti-airs from Urien. Even though he has a lot of them. So, once again, I feel like RB is at a loss. He's just trying different things. He's not sure how to approach Tokido and open him up. He tries the knees. It was too far away. Yep. Tokido just having his way. EX headbutt was obvious. Tokido crush counters appropriately, and I think that is it. So you see in the last match just how dismantled RB's game plan was. Crazy. Tokido was like, oh, another day at the office. Let's look at